Welcome to Treasure Charm Boutique. I am Sarah, and we are here just to talk about life stories. And this is Melinda, and we are going to be just talking like we're in a cafe, like we're just visiting and just be who we are. And we hope that through this that you will be bring you joy through who we are, because we're just going to be us. And you can introduce yourself, Melinda.
Hi, I'm Melinda. I'm Sarah's sister-in-law and best friend for many years. I'm excited about these podcasts, and I can't wait to bring joy and love and just true stories to you guys.
Yeah, so today we're going to just kind of talk about it's really been on like everywhere I look, everything that I read, and I know you have seen this as well, is kind of like being authentic and what it means to be authentic. Like, it can be in so many different ways, authenticity, like who we are. And even like me as trying to get this business going, kind of being nervous about how people perceive me and look at me. And um, I have gone through some weird stuff, just with who I am, how people react to me. So for me, sometimes even posting in my um on my Shopify account, posting, pictures of myself in the dresses or outfits or whatever. I look at them and I'm like, well, it doesn't look very professional and I don't like how that looks. And, I'm not like a model. And so then I look at the pictures of like my clothing on just like a mannequin and I'm like, okay, but everybody else out there has such nice, like professional, you know, photographs of their stuff. And it's kind of like hard to know where to go with it.
I think
What
sometimes
have,
using, I think sometimes in those incidents, using like maybe AI or different photo crops for outfits, I think that's one thing. But like, um, you see a lot of people like adding a person that's been gone for like 10 years and now they're photoshopping this person into a picture to put on their wall. I just think that's a little creepy, a little odd. I don't
oh,
know,
yeah.
that's just me. You know, or somebody that's like what they look like and then you see a picture and you're like, is that really what they look like now? You know,
Yeah.
those are the ones that I'm like, yeah, let's not go there. But in your instance, for using it for your business, for clothing, I think that that's totally fine to, you know, have an, maybe AI or, it's definitely the dress that you're wanting to sell or the pair of pants that you're wanting to sell. You're just wanting to make sure that they get a full picture of it. I think that's fine to use it in those aspects, but
Yeah. It's hard to know where to cross the line, isn't it? Like, or
yeah,
where the line is, I guess you would say, like, uh, you know, because there's in so many ways we could be totally authentic in who we are. And then we feel like, well, nobody would, say personality wise, nobody would actually like us if we were who we were. It was so funny the other day. It was in church, and they're like, well, if we never cared about anybody and what they thought of us, would we be a psychopath? Well, I don't know. Is that what that
I don't know.
means? I don't know. But, it's
I
like,
mean, to some extent, I think that we need to care about what people think about us because that's who we are. But if it's going to put us in a spot where we're like acting differently just because we're around that person, then I would be like, no. Um,
Right.
but definitely, I definitely care what people think about me,
Right.
but
Me
not to the
too.
point where it's gonna like make me change. I mean, maybe in some ways it would make me change. You know, if somebody's like, hey, you shouldn't be acting like that. And I go home and I'm like, maybe I was a little rude, and maybe I do need to work in this area. Then yes.
Right.
But I don't know. I just don't think that
What have you seen out there
somebody
that
saying, well,
like,
I don't care what they think. I just
yeah.
don't think that that's a true
And
statement.
it's
I
like
think everybody,
cares to an extent, definitely. And the
yeah.
older I get, I think the less I care. Like, I don't care as much as I did when I was young. When I was young, I wanted to make sure if I went somewhere that my kids look great, you know?
Mhm.
So, and that I look great. And I always wanted to make sure that they had like the cutest clothes on. And so, like,
Well, and I don't
for
think that
example,
that's
there was a
necessarily.
time that I was like hurrying up and I was like trying to go as fast as I could. And I was late for an appointment. And um, I'm like, Joshua, just get your clothes on, get your clothes on. Like, I can't do this. And I can't get ready because I'm running so late. And so I had him get dressed that day by himself. And he's like 4 years old. And he we get to the appointment and he's like, but mom, I can't go in. I can't go in. And I'm like, why? We have to get in. Like, we have to go right now. And he's like, you forgot to put my pants on. And he like pulls his shirt down over his boxers. And I'm like, they're fine. They're just boxers. Just pretend you're wearing shorts. It's okay. You know, so very humiliating appointment. I was like, please don't look at my son's boxers. But like
Well, and I think
now,
in those incidents, I think I mean, that's one thing I think, what you see on the outside is kind of what you see what's going on in the inside too. So, definitely making sure that you're dressed, put together is definitely a big thing for me.
yeah.
So, I mean, in that instance, I would have probably crawled underneath a table. So,
And been like, I'm not going to that appointment.
I don't know if this child's mine.
Yeah, it's hard sometimes, just and today, like, I mean, I was just watching this person and you think about it, they're being authentic, they're just being real. This is what happened. And they're filming their child getting up on on the counter and had the water on. And then they're trying to turn the water off. And the child like falls into the sink. He's under the water. And so then instead of people just thinking it was funny, you're like right there. The mom is right there videoing
Uh-huh.
it. And there was just comments of, oh my word, they could have hurt themselves and you're too busy videoing. And oh my word, like that could have been hot water, or on and on and on. Nobody can even have like fun these days. So that being
Not
authentic, you can't even, in some ways, you can't even be authentic in that way because like people just bash you no matter what you do, seems
Oh
like,
yeah.
you
Yep.
know?
Yeah, this day and
And
age definitely.
yeah. And I know we've
I mean,
talked
it
about
used to
that
be a thing.
before.
Kids used to play in the mud puddles and be in their
Yeah.
diaper. Nowadays, people are like, why doesn't that little girl have a shirt on? Like, why
Yeah.
is she in a diaper? But it's okay. It's like back in our days, it was okay. That's normal. That's
Yeah.
kids
I
having
mean,
fun.
you didn't even, it wasn't that you had a million people talking about it? So I think people are in ways more afraid to be authentic and be out there and be who they are because there's so much backlash on everything you do, you know.
Oh,
If
yeah.
you don't look right, or if you don't, oh my word, what is that person doing? Sometimes I think about that. Like, even when I'm doing my workout videos, I'm like, I'm sure there's somebody going, oh my word, like she's not even doing it right. Or why is she videoing herself? Or, whatever. And
Well,
you're
and
just gonna get that.
nowadays, so the other thing that I have a hard time with is like I'm having a ton of fun and like just, being with my family. And then the next thing I know is there's a video of me being all
Oh,
crazy. And
right.
I'm like, what in the world? Like, this was
Yes.
just me being like who I am with my family. I don't need this
Or
on the internet.
silly, or yeah,
Being silly. Like, I
or
don't
just
want that.
having fun. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want that published all over the Facebook or Instagram or Spotify or whatever.
Snapchat. Yeah.
Snapchat.
No.
This is me having fun with my family.
Right.
So I think sometimes these cameras in these videos, like, I don't mind people videoing me, but ask my permission if, hey, I took a video of you. I thought it was cute. Let me make that choice if I want it up on the internet, you
Right. And
know?
sometimes don't you almost want to be like, you know what? We're going to do a family event. Let's everybody put your phones in the bucket,
Oh,
because it's like
yeah,
everybody is either on their phones or videoing, or they can't even like
yeah.
actually have fun
Well, and
without it being videoed or online, or that this
yeah,
is going online. Look at how
yeah,
much fun I'm having. It's like,
yeah.
how about we just put the cameras away for a while and then
Well, and that's
have
what we
the
do on our
fun?
camping trips. A lot of
Yeah.
our camping trips, there's no internet there. And
Hmm.
so a lot of times it's just, you might get a picture, but you're not getting it, it's like, I think that that's why we love our camping trips because we're not on our phones. It's like our phones are like, hey, make sure if you guys leave, you have your phone, that way we can get a hold of you. And, but other than that, it's like we don't have phones, when we're camping. And I think people need to put their phones down more so, even in the home, and
Yes.
just be family. There's
Right.
so much,
Talk
it's
and
like,
visit
I mean,
and
well, and even in my household, it's like, I'll be sitting there and I look around the whole living room and everybody's got their phones and it's like they're looking at
the
it. Yeah,
hilarious
we're
thing
supposed to be
is,
watching a movie.
yeah,
It's like,
sometimes it's like we're all looking at our phones and there's a movie going, and it's like, why did we even start this? You know?
exactly.
So yeah, it
Or
was
we have
really nice.
company
Like,
over and everybody's sitting on their phones. It's like, okay, you were supposed to come over to visit, not be on your phone,
you're like,
and
you should
I
text
mean,
them,
I'm probably,
and be like, hi, how are you
oh,
doing
I have,
today? I see you,
I
but
have. I have done that.
yeah,
I have done
yeah,
that. I'm like, hello. And they're like, Mom, are you kidding me? And I'm like, well, I figured you might respond because I've said your
yeah,
name 3 times.
yeah, yeah,
And
yep,
so, I mean, it's like, and I know this generation is definitely, more tech savage and all that, but I wanted to get back to when we were children, and I know that
yeah,
that's not totally going to happen, but
yeah.
I
I'm
feel
sure
like
it's
it's going
not,
to bring families closer.
yeah. I mean, and I can even say that for like me and Gus. Sometimes I feel like instead of us like visiting or talking, we're too busy on our phones, to even
Yeah.
hear each other.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
feel kind of like I've done that a little more lately because I'm like trying to, take pictures and edit the pictures and put them on Shopify and finish my videos in CapCut and put those out and, do my every morning good morning thing. And it's like, I got to remember that I have to be like, hi, Gus, how are you? Instead
Yeah.
of being,
Well, and during those times, that's understandable because that's your work. But like, if you guys are sitting down having dinner, hey, let's put the phones away. Let's have dinner
yeah,
together.
And
Or
we
hey,
usually don't at dinner. Usually, we're
yeah,
like the other day, it
yeah,
was really nice because we went out to Mother's Day dinner and we all just visited, you know, and we weren't
that's so
on our
nice.
phones. And we kind of all have not really it's like an unwritten rule. Like, if we're going to go out, we're not going to be on our phones. If we like
That's right.
search something up or something, that's different. But
Yeah.
nobody
Or the
is like
menu.
having their phone under the table going, uh-huh, uh-huh, none of that.
Yeah. Yeah,
We
I think
just,
that's so rude.
it
I
is.
think like put your phone in your purse, leave it in the car. If you're going out to dinner or something like that, like you can take a half an hour to an hour and just be with your family. You don't need your
Right.
phones.
Yeah. I think it's
It's
very
like
much of an
this is our
addiction these
time.
days, just to be on your
Oh,
phone
for
and to
sure.
constantly grab it, see what the next thing is
Hmm.
saying, or I want to see if somebody said
Yeah, we
something,
were
or
just Matt and I were just laying in bed a couple nights ago, and I was like, hey, let's see what our screen times are. And he's like, oh, no, yours is worse than mine. And I'm like, well, let's see. And he's like, mine doesn't record. And I'm like, oh, yeah, it does. He's like, oh, baby. He's like, I got to get off this phone more often. And I'm like, exactly. And he's like, what was yours? And I was like, in a day, 3.5, I range from like 3.5 hours on my phone. And he's like, yeah, I guess I got to get to yours. And it's like, I don't have time to be on my phone all the time, but only
yeah,
that I like to interact with people. I have a really hard time with, I mean, partly me being on like the phone, like texting and stuff. Don't, I have a hard time spelling and stuff. And, or like reading stuff, sometimes it's like that's a, you know, hard for me sort of thing. So I
yeah.
kind of despise it. Um, and then the videos that are out there, like, are they real or not? So my mind goes there. So I don't really do a lot of videos or Snapchat or any of that because I'm like, I've brought in stuff up to Juby and I'm like, did you see that? And Juby's like, Mom, that's AI. And I'm like, really?
Yeah, there's
She's like,
so
yeah, that's
much of
totally
that, isn't
AI.
there?
So it's like deterred me. It's like
Yeah.
deterred me. It's like, well, what's real and what's not. So I have a hard time watching videos now, even. So I mean, I use my phone for like, researching something or I do get on Facebook and look at my grandkids or my friends, kind of see how they're doing. But other than
Yeah.
that, I just
I
don't.
know videos are very difficult sometimes because it seems like so many of them now are AI. It's like when I
Mhm.
do a video, it's very like if I say I'm doing a video and it's just kind of like an advertisement kind of video, I go to TikTok and use one of their auto cuts, use my pictures and
Yeah.
throw it up there, and it does a really good job.
Yeah.
And um, so that kind of stuff is so much different than say there is this huge wave that went over somebody and it didn't really, or there's fire in the background and like, oh my
Yeah.
word, there's a fire, and they're like, that's AI. It's like,
I know.
what is the point of that? It's just for like shock and awe, I'm sure. Like, I want you to look at my video.
It's got to
So
be
look,
something.
this is all on fire.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it isn't. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Hard.
like, yeah, I don't get those videos. So I have a hard time relating just because, if I'm watching something, I mean, I know in movies, they're not real. Not all movies are real. But when you're seeing
Right.
a video of something on fire or you see a car accident or
Yeah.
something's posted on the internet, you're thinking, well, this is real. And then
Yeah.
I got my 17-year-old daughter going, Mom, that's AI. And I'm like, AI? How do they do that? Like, I
Yeah.
don't get it.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, nowadays you can literally say into whatever AI app you have, um, please generate this. And then it'll make it look like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's crazy.
It is
And
crazy.
I don't know how to do that. And I don't want to do that. I'm not
I don't
interested in
either.
that.
No.
You know, it's like the most AI I do is like, um, it's kind of interesting. I think this is interesting. So I can take a picture of myself, and for the most part, it's not perfect, and have a picture, and then grab a clothing. Say there's something I want to buy online, right? I can grab
Hmm.
that outfit or dress, and AI can figure out the measurements of it, and then it will
Wow.
literally be like, throw it. I'm like, I can say, put this dress on me, and because I want to see if it's too long. I'm tired of buying things that are so long. Then I have to sew them. I can't
Yeah.
really wear them. And so I can put it on my body and be like, and it's going to be this long and it's going to fit me
Wow.
here. And it's going to, so I like that. I like that because I don't want to waste my money, you know? So then I
Yeah.
can take a
Yeah, that makes
picture of
sense.
that and I could upload it to my Shopify, you know, and say, I mean, I want it from somebody else's clothes. Obviously, I have the clothes here, but I can take one of my clothing items and stick a picture either of me or say a model and say, put this on this model, and then it will show the whole thing. Or you can actually do things like um, have clothes on the floor and you can take a picture of them and it can pull out what the clothing is and just like put it up and make it do like a 3D
Oh,
of
that's neat.
that clothing item. And it's
Yeah,
like,
in your shop and
so
in your
those kind of
business,
things are really nice, you know, because
yeah,
it's
that's
not
amazing.
real. But then, like, you think sometimes I think, do people want that? Because I definitely don't want a picture of something. I rarely will buy if I go on a site and somebody literally took a dress or pants or anything like that. If it is not on a hanger hung up and they throw it on the floor, I usually, my first thought is, did you really scrub that floor before you threw it on the floor? And
Yeah.
like, what was on the floor? And I don't know why,
So,
just like my whole like
well, it feels like they didn't take
germaphobic
time to
kind of,
like
yeah, it's like,
stage it.
can you just hang it up or leave it on the
Yeah,
hanger and put it on the wall somewhere? You know, can you not
exactly.
like throw my clothes on the floor? Now I get that, you know, you after you wear something, probably throw it on the floor, but then you usually wash it and you hang it up. You don't just like, you
Exactly.
know, so the that idea to me is just like, I don't want to sew
Yeah.
my clothes like that. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
doesn't look
Well, and I
very
think it's
nice.
proper. Like you're not going to go into a store and see your clothes on the floor. You're going to see them on hangers. You're going to see them on a mannequin. You're not going to see them on the floor. So if you're wanting to
Yeah.
sell something, put it on a hanger, you
Yeah.
know?
Do a little better. And maybe
Yeah.
that's just my opinion. Probably get a lot of
Yeah.
flack for that, but still, that's how I feel about it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I get that
Like,
totally.
yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely don't want to go into a store and dig through their floor
Oh,
on
that's
their
the other
floor.
thing, digging through their buckets. And yeah, I'll just
Yeah,
walk away. No.
yeah, yeah. I'd rather it be hung up, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. That's me.
And the other day, I actually went to this, it was like a really nice clothing store. Their clothes were like incredibly expensive in Peterborough. And they had this one like trunk that they threw all the clothes in. And that was their sale items. And I was like, well, that's a little bit different. Like I've never seen that before. Somebody just
Uh-huh.
like that was the cheapest items you could get. And they were in a trunk. And I was like, interesting. First time I had seen that at like
Yeah.
a boutique store, you know?
Well, and the
But
thing is I probably would have just walked away from it. I mean, in a garage sale, that's one thing, but like, I don't know. I have a hard time going through buckets.
yeah.
I
Do you
don't
ever
know why.
go to the Goodwill bins? I know a lot of people talk about those.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Have you been there?
I've been there. And
What is it like? Because we don't have them out here.
I mean, I like it. I like it. I have found some really good stuff, but then I've like ended up finding some really nasty stuff. So it's like you're hit and miss. Definitely wear gloves. Definitely have hand sanitizer.
Oh,
Um, don't bring your little ones unless they're in the cart.
really?
Yeah,
Just
it's
because you never
yeah,
know what's
especially
going to
going
be
through
in
those
those
bins.
bins. Mm,
Yeah, well,
yeah.
they just throw stuff in there like they're dirty, they're moldy. You can find some
Oh,
crazy stuff. Yeah.
oh. Yeah,
And
no,
definitely if
thank
you're
you then.
buying from the bin Goodwill, take it home and wash it. So,
Yeah.
but I mean,
Yeah.
I have found like really nice. In fact, we went up to the mountains during the winter, and I don't know, through the move or whatever, we lost all of our snow gear. Don't know what happened to it. Anyway,
Oh,
so
no.
yeah, so we had to,
That's a lot of
and
snow gear.
it is. And so I'm like, Matthew and I are hitting up every bin Goodwill we could. And I mean, we found some really nice um, snow gear. But Jubilee, she's like, I can't do this. I can't do this, Mom. Oh
Why?
my goodness, this stinks. Oh,
Oh,
a dirty sock. Oh, why is there
oh.
underwear here? I was like kind of laughing. I'm like, oh my
What in
goodness.
the world?
So then she's like, Mom, do they wash their clothes? And I'm like, no, this is not what she actually said. Okay, Adam, we're out of here. They walked out of the store.
Oh, I would have too, yeah.
And
If
so,
I would have seen dirty clothes, especially underwear, yeah, I would have been like, I'm out.
yeah. And so I'm like sitting there and I'm like, it is pretty disgusting, but tell you what, for $100, I got 10 people snow gears and boots and
Nice.
the coats and the pants and everything. I think I
Yeah.
only had
Because
one
what do they go on
person.
weight? They go on weight or something.
Yeah, it's 100. I mean, it's $1.38, I think, a pound.
Oh,
Um,
that's that's not bad.
and I mean, I ended up getting a Dyson. In that $100, I ended up getting a Dyson vacuum cleaner, um,
Really?
the cordless one. All I
Oh,
had to do
wow.
is go buy a battery for like $40, but it was like $5
You're
for a
so good
Dyson.
at getting like deals. Like you always find the best deals for things. You're really good at it. We
So,
have the that um free, which I think every single town, it wouldn't work everywhere. I understand that, but like to be able to go and for people to get uh, decent things that other people are throwing out, like the green center, they call them here.
oh yeah,
You have a
I
few of
think
them
every
around.
county should have one.
Everywhere should have them that can. Like I understand, like some places couldn't because they would just be. Um, my daughter and I were talking about it. We are saying, you know what? Some places would just be rummaged through garbage. Nobody would want the stuff. People would be putting things in there they shouldn't. But in a town where everybody is just contributing and bringing their stuff that they don't want, and then other people are just nicely taking stuff that aren't, because I guess there was an incident where people were actually stealing like the shelves and stuff instead of
Yes.
like just the clothing on the
Oh
shelves that were
goodness.
outside. They were taking the whole thing.
Yeah, I
I was
guess you'd
like,
need somebody to volunteer and be out there, but it would definitely
yeah,
be a good thing. I mean, because it's
yeah,
like I go to I
it's
mean, I'm
it
at
would
the
be
dump
awesome.
and I'm like, you're throwing that away. Can I get it? And you're not
Yeah,
even allowed to. Like, I'm like, hey, don't throw that away. I'll take it. And then they're like, oh, you can't. I'm like, oh,
what we can
yeah,
here. You
not
can
here.
we've given people stuff so many times, like we're gonna bring it and dump it, or we're gonna bring it to the town shed, and somebody else is like, "Hey, can I have that?" And we're like, "Load it right in your truck."
Yeah, so you're not allowed to. You have to actually, and it's a rigmarole. You got to follow that person's got to leave it in their truck, follow them totally out through the scale, and then meet them on the road And some people just don't want to do that. So it's like, oh, okay,
My
well,
goodness.
whatever. Like, that's a nice thing. That's a nice bike or something, I've seen.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, I could use that cabinet but yeah,
Why are they like that, I wonder? That's weird.
I don't know. I don't know.
Obviously,
You would think
something happened that
they
made
don't
him.
want it to go in the landfill.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's what I think too.
I
Um,
don't know. So yeah, I think every county needs a green center. I
yeah.
love going out to your green center and seeing all this stuff. I mean, it's like,
Yeah.
wow, this is amazing.
Yeah. I know. And I never look as thoroughly as you do. I like look at for certain things but you're always so good at like really looking and searching and finding good stuff. But yeah, I mean, to go back to being authentic and just being who we are, like, I think that it starts within ourselves. And sometimes too, like I feel like people become like so would it be obsessed with like actors or actresses. It's like they almost like take on their persona and
Mhm.
start acting like them
Yeah.
or behaving like
Mhm.
them. And
Yeah.
I wonder if some people actually don't know who they are. You know what I mean? Like if
I think
they
a lot of
never
people want
seen
to,
that, what?
yeah. I think a lot of people want to be like somebody else or want to be this person. And I'm just to the age where I want to be me. I
Yeah,
don't want, it's too hard to be somebody else or act like somebody else, or I just
it
want
can't
people to know the real
who
me.
you are.
This is me,
Yeah,
who I am. You
right.
know, I don't need to be somebody else or, you know,
Act like
well,
somebody
this
else.
mom does it this way. Well, okay, that's great. That mom can do it this way. This is the way I do it. And I mean,
Right.
I don't mind taking people's advice, but
You
this is
probably
just
having
who I
10
am, and
kids
this
have
is
dealt with that more than me because you still have
oh yeah,
younger children. And I'm sure everybody has tried to tell you at one point or another how to be a mom.
oh yeah. And it's like, well, I don't mind that. I don't mind people telling me or giving me advice. But then when I don't use your advice, don't judge me on that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to do it my way. That's the
right.
way we learn as parents. And um, or you like, I don't know, like you get around a bunch of girls and you act like this person, or you act totally different with your parenting, and then your kids are like looking at you like, what's this all about? You know,
Right.
and I've seen that many times. I can tell it's like this mom is acting like totally different than when she's like by herself or with a different group of people. And it's like, why act that way?
Yeah.
It's like
And I think
you're
it just kind
acting
of
total.
happens to a lot of people. Like,
Hmm.
this is what I think happens is you don't, you reflect the people that you look up to or are around because of the whole dynamics of uh, people not liking you. It always comes back to that because you think, oh, you know what? If I disagree with these people, they're going to be mad at me. Or if I um, don't be like them. Like there's so many things about me I feel like sometimes that I don't talk about or I don't um do because I live in sort of a different environment, you know? So
Hmm.
here I would say that like to look like you are in New York City would not be accepted. You know what I'm saying? So if you're in New
Yeah.
York
Yeah.
City, to dress like somebody in New York is so different than dressing like
Mhm.
somebody in New Hampshire. Just
Yeah.
like the clothing style, the way that the kind of clothing they wear. Now let's take Southwest. If you're in the Southwest, it's more like to be able to wear cowboy boots and cowboy hats, and you go to Texas and that is just like normal. But if you're like that in New York City, they know that you're not from there. You know,
Yeah,
if
you're gonna be
I,
called a cowboy
yeah,
or something
yeah,
like that. Yeah.
people will
And
know you're
I
not
think
from around there. So people like almost assimilate so they don't feel like they're the odd one. Know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
It just kind
Like
of
wearing the
happens.
t-shirts and the pants. And I'm not that kind of mom to just throw on a t-shirt and a pair of pants. Now, if I'm at home, but if I'm going out, you're going to definitely see me dressed up.
Yeah.
That's just who I am. And it's
Yeah.
like we're not going to we're not going to a party or we're not going out to eat. I don't care.
Yeah. See,
This
I'm
is
that way too. Like as I've gotten older, I'm like, you know what? I don't have little kids. I don't have to worry about dressing them. I get to dress myself, and this is how I want to look.
that's
And
right.
even the other day when we went to Longhorn, somebody was like, you are dressed too nice for this place. Well, the first person was like, oh my word, you look gorgeous. And then the other person was like, you're really dressed too nice for this place. This is Longhorn. And I was like, so I'm not dressing for Longhorn.
Yeah,
I'm
I'll go to
dressing,
Walmart in these clothes.
yeah,
I'll go to Goodwill
wherever
in these
I
clothes.
want
What
to
are you
go,
talking
I can
about?
wear whatever I want.
That's right.
Uh, so yeah, it's like that's the thing. People want authenticity, and then sometimes they want, how come you're not looking like everybody else? Well, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna.
Yeah.
You can't force me to look like everybody else because I'm not gonna do it.
Exactly. I'm who I am.
This is
And
who I
this
am.
is what I'm actually comfortable. Like I'm more comfortable. Like if I go into a store and I'm like been working just say at the house and I run to Lowe's and I gotta go get something. I'm like, oh my word, I look like crap. But
Yeah,
then if I go and throw on a dress or tie my hair up real quick and then I go into the store, I feel like comfortable. I'm like,
yeah, more
I feel more
confident. Yeah,
myself. I'm like
yeah,
not running.
me too.
I hope I don't run into somebody I see or know just because this isn't who I am. This is like, I'm uncomfortable. But, you know, and I think there's a time and place, but, if somebody came to my house and I looked like I was in my jeans and my t shirt, I probably wouldn't care. But if I'm
Right.
out and about, that's who I am. This is just who
Yeah,
I am.
yeah.
So,
And that's what I'm saying too. It's like there's two sides of that authenticity. Sometimes I think people think that, well, you need to be authentically you of who you are, but this is how you should look. Well, that's not
yeah,
who I am.
that's not who
That's
I
not who
am.
I am. That's not who I feel comfortable. From the time I was a little girl, I was like, Mom, let me wear my gunny sack dress to school. She was like, no way, you know?
Yeah.
And I would come home and I would put my gunny sack dress on and I would twirl and twirl and twirl in the living room. And
Yeah.
it's all I ever wanted to wear. I did not want to wear anything else.
Yeah.
I like thought about it when I woke up. I thought about it when I went to sleep, and she was just like, you're not wearing that to school.
Uh,
But, that's who I was. I've always been
well, and I
the
think that
girly
as
girl.
a parent, we need to let our kids just be who they are. Don't try to shape them on how you want them or you see them. That
Right,
is something, I mean, Juby was little, and of course, I always wanted a girl. So after 8 boys, I wanted this girl to have little frills and this and that. And somebody came
right.
to me and I'm like, man, I just fight with this girl like every morning about getting dressed for school. I'm like, I'm fighting with her. And they're like, well, what are you fighting? I said, she doesn't want to wear anything I pick out. Like, she refuses. And they're like, well, maybe you need to allow her to pick her clothes out. And I'm like, well, if she does, she'll look like a mess. And they're like, oh, well, that's who
Yeah.
she wants. Let her pick out her stuff.
Yeah.
So I decided to suck it up as a mom. And I was like, well, I'm going to take their advice. Oh, I was thankful I took their advice, but I did make a rule. Now, if we're going to church, you will wear what I want you to wear. I
Yeah.
don't care what you wear to school. That's fine. But when we go
Yeah.
to church, you're going to wear what I want you to wear. And boy,
Right.
did it like the conflict. And it was like, I think I kind of boosted Juby on letting her wear what she wanted to wear.
Yeah.
So I think it's, you know, we need to shape who we want us to be. We don't
Right.
need to be just because this person dresses like this or this person acts this way or this person's life is that way doesn't mean your life is going to be that way.
Right.
So,
And I can honestly say, like, I had a really hard time with that with Selena too, because I wanted to be able to dress my kids the way I wanted them to look.
yeah,
And so the hilarious thing is, this is how I worked that out because she too did not want to wear anything I wanted her to wear. And so, um, I literally took like the outfits and I rolled them together. And so usually she didn't really think about it and like, yeah, this will look good together. And she threw it on. Sometimes she would go through and take them all apart and find what she wanted to wear.
yeah,
And this one time is great and she will love the story. But she had like some stretch pants or something on. And then she took a like big baggy shirt. It was like a big baggy white shirt,
uh-huh.
and that was just a play shirt. Well, she took one of her yellow tight tank tops. It was more like it was getting too small for her. And she put that over the big baggy shirt. And the big baggy shirt was coming out of it in different ways and kind of bunched up here and bunched up. And I was
Oh
like,
my
you
goodness.
are not wearing that. Like,
Yeah,
I don't care. I know, like, you want the freedom to wear what you want to wear, but you're not wearing that.
exactly. Yeah, I
You
probably would have
can
put my
find
foot down.
anything else, but yeah,
But
but
I mean,
she's
it's like,
funny.
yeah, I mean, letting them just be who they are, don't
Yeah,
reshape them. Let them experience things. Let them
yeah,
be who they want to be.
yeah, yeah. I know Selena has done a very good job about um just letting her boys wear whatever they want to wear.
Yeah.
She doesn't really care that much.
Well, I think with the
That's
boys, it's a
not
little easier
something.
because, I mean, how can you mess up with boys?
Yeah,
Really.
yeah.
Girls now, it's like they want their tights and then they want this and they want that. And it's like, oh, lands.
Oh no, Selena never wanted to tighten her life. She never wanted a dress. She always picked pants, jeans, never a dress. She's the thought of
Yeah.
wearing a dress was very upsetting for her.
Yeah,
I was
that's
like,
my daughter now.
why?
She's wears a dress on outings only. And it's like, Jibby, you look so cute.
I love
She's like, yeah,
dresses.
just for now.
Yeah,
I love dresses. I mean,
yeah. I love dresses too. I'd wear a dress every single day of my life, but
oh yeah.
sometimes I sometimes I don't. But I would.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
would.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I feel more comfortable in a dress and
They
I
are
don't know.
very comfortable, aren't
They're
they?
very comfortable.
It gets so cold here in the winter that I'm just like I have a million layers on and I don't wear a dress, but I guess I could.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, I just don't.
Yeah.
But we should get going, I suppose.
Yeah.
And it was wonderful talking to you. And I love this. And we are like going to have so much fun with this. And if there's any like thing that anybody else would like to talk about, like just leave a comment.
Yeah.
like it, subscribe it, hit all the buttons. And we are
Yeah,
just
if
going to
there's
be
a
here
topic
visiting.
you guys want us to hit on or through our experiences or whatever, yeah, just comment. And we'll talk
And
about it.
there's going to be so much more. Like, these two are very light, but we're going to be talking about some deep subjects, some
Yeah.
some dark subjects. If you
Yeah.
don't want to listen to that, I will put a warning out. But like, this is, you know, getting to know us. This is who we are. Um, and we just love for you to join us. In fact, if there's anybody that actually wants to join us on the Zoom call, you're welcome to do that too. We'll figure out a way.
Yeah.
So we had so much fun today, and we're so thankful that you came, and we will do it again very soon. Thank you.
Thank you.